And welcome back to another class of our course about the complete introduction to Photoshop. So in the past class we practiced what we have just learned, and we have created this picture right here by using different pictures. So pretty simple, we simply put it together, this picture and this picture right there. So what I propose you to do in this class is pretty much the same thing. So what I want to do is continue practicing what we have just learned and starting out another project. So basically what we will do will be pretty cool. So we are going to work with two different, Avengers and add them to this picture right here. So I want to work with Hulk. And basically what I want to do is pretty simple. I want to take the face of Thor that we have right here and put it right here instead of the face of Hulk. And then bringing some modifications, so just to show you what type of modifications we can bring in. So for example, we can reduce the nose or make the nose bigger. We can do pretty much a lot of really interesting things, and this is exactly what we will do. So what I want to do also, I want to correct the coloration of all the pictures. So basically in this case we don't need to correct the colorations because we already have corrected them in the past class. But maybe changing the coloration of Hulk, instead of being green, we can make it more red. Let's say red or white or brown or whatever color we can give him. Or even blue. So we'll try it out. So pretty simple how exactly we can start all this. So we can start this project by cropping our Hulk or simply cropping the face of our Thor. So we'll start by cropping the Hulk. So pretty simple, we'll go to the magnetic lasso tool and we are simply going to select the part of the Hulk that we are going to work with. So basically we need to select the whole Hulk. So pretty simple, we'll start right there. And once again, we need to make it as nice as possible. So here we go. So if you guys want to work with this picture, it's available on Google. If not, well, you can do pretty much the same thing as me, but just with some other pictures. If you want to modify your own pictures, well, it's up to you. So as you can see, the first thing that I'm doing right now is I'm cropping out the Hulk. So until now, as you can see, it's pretty simple. It's things that we have already did in the past few classes. Here we go. So if you guys don't want to look how I crop the Hulk, you can always jump this part of the class. So here I'm just cropping out the Hulk. Alright, so I have this first part of our Hulk. I need to add another part, which is right here, so I will just click on the shift button and simply add it. Here we go. There, alright. Then what I can do is pretty simple. I simply can copy everything and paste it right there. So pretty important to work on the right layer. Here we go. So right now we have our Hulk that is completed. Next thing that we can do is pretty simple. We can work on the color balance of our Hulk right now. So basically we don't need this picture anymore. So what we'll do, we'll just take it and bring it up there. So pretty simple. Now what we want to do is pretty simple. So instead of having our Hulk that is all green, we want to change its color. Don't worry, we'll correct the other parts that are not corrected a little bit after. So first of all, we want to change its color. So how exactly we can change the color of our Hulk? So pretty simple. As I teach you, we will use the hue and saturation. So instead of working on this picture right there like we did in the past class, we have cropped our Hulk, and we're going to work directly on the cropped picture. So pretty simple. Let's work on it. So let's go on our hue and saturation tab. Here it all depends what exactly we want to do with it. So we can put it all purple, we can put it more green or even blue. We decide how we want to modify it. So in my opinion, I want to have a Hulk that is more the same color as our Thor, because once again we're going to crop his face and put it right here. So I need pretty much the same coloration as he has, and then we'll be able to modify the coloration of both of them. All right. So it'll be something like this. Then the second thing that we'll do is simply taking our Thor right here and also adjusting its hue and saturation. Bring it right there. Right. Here we go. Good. So by clicking on this button, it will only be applied on this picture right here. All right, good. Now we'll adjust the saturation of our Thor. So pretty much the same thing. We'll go right here and we are going to go to hue and saturation. Once again, we'll click right there and it will only be applied on this picture right here. So we'll try to give him the same skin color. Right, let's try something else. So we'll go to the extremes, so from blue to blue. All right, they have pretty much the same skin color. Now what we'll do, we'll simply merge the two together and then we are going to work on the hue and saturation. All right, so we can take away our Hulk. And now we can work on our Thor. Let's do this. So pretty simple, what we want to do right now is cropping his head and bring it right here. So pretty simple, we are simply going to select the part that contains its head, since the picture is already cropped. We can do it by using this tool right here, but as we can see, it's not gonna be that perfect. So we'll use the magnetic lasso tool instead. Rectangular. Okay. Here we go. All right, so we're selecting the head of our Thor. Now the next step will simply be deleting everything that we don't need. So basically, we don't need this part. Here we go. And we don't need the part right here either. Great. So right now we have pretty much everything that we need. So we can just copy it and paste it right there. So it will look something like this. Here we go. Great. So right now we have the head of our Thor. Now the next step is pretty simple. We want to put his head right here. So to be able to do this, what exactly we would need to do? So pretty simple. What we want to do right now is changing his head of orientation. So we are going to use Control T for this, and then simply flip horizontally the head. So as you can see, it works pretty well. Then what we need to adjust is simply the, well, not the skin color, but we need to adjust the size of its head. So we'll take the hue and saturation as well. We'll bring it right here. Put it right there. Good. Okay, so let's adjust the size of its head. So we'll just click on Control T and we'll start the adjustment of the head. So once again, we don't want the head to be too small, we don't want the head to be too big. Alright, so basically we'll look something like this. Next thing, adjusting the skin color. So what we did right here is pretty simple. If we look at this picture, we put it together, the hue and saturation with the Hulk. So next thing that we did the same thing right here. So we have pretty much the same coloration for our Hulk and our Thor. So we'll just merge the two layers together. Here we go. And we will merge those two layers together as well. Nice. So right now we have pretty much the same skin color. So what we can do right now to be sure that everything works fine. So first of all, we can reduce the size of the head. We can take away his hairs and use this head with the head of the Thor. So there are plenty of things that we can do that are, well, pretty interesting. Once again, the result will not be perfect because we're not going to spend hours on this picture. So let's try it out. We'll make his head a little bit smaller. All right, so as you can see, it's gonna go right here. Right there, good. Right, so as you can see, it's not natural at all. So what we want to do right now is maybe try to, well, maybe we can try to use different tools that we have learned to be able to correct all this. So pretty simple. So let's try it out. So first of all, the first tool that we can use will be the clone stamp tool. Basically, we can use it right there. We just click on it. So basically what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to make it a little bit more natural. Here it's a little bit too big, so we'll make it a little bit more smaller. Just reduce the size of our eraser. All right. Once again, it's not perfect, but the result is pretty good. Here we go. Great. So as you can see, we didn't have invested that much time in this picture. Once again, we have something that is pretty cool. So next step will be to correct all the imperfections right here. So we can merge the two pictures together right now since we have a result that we like. Here we go. So here is our picture right now. So now we can just correct those little parts right here. So once again, we can use different tools. So for the purpose of this correction, what we are going to use is pretty much the stamp, the clone stamp tool, this one. So here we go, this is corrected. So there are some places, for example, right here, we can use it right there. We can delete some parts. So basically, there are some parts that are not perfect at all. Right here, for example. Right there as well. So as you can see right now, what I'm doing is I'm simply correcting this picture. Here we go. Great. As you can see, this would be the final result of our Hulk. So we didn't invest that much time in it. So it's pretty normal that the result is not perfect. But once again, it's not that bad for the time that we have invested in it. So you guys, as I said, if you have worked on the Hulk or a picture that is similar to this one, you can probably have the same results as me. But if you have worked on another picture, as you can see, I used pretty much the tools, only the tools that we have learned in this class. So I have used the right coloration to be able to, have pretty much the same color for our Thor and for our Hulk to merge them together. Next thing that I did is I used the stamp tool and also the clone stamp tool, basically to correct the parts that were not that perfect and to merge those two pictures together to make them more mergeable. And right now what I will do is I will simply add this background to the picture. So pretty simple. This would be our picture. So right now what we will do, we'll simply take our Hulk and make it a little bit smaller. So here we go. We have our Hulk right here. And we can add it to this picture right there. Which is pretty cool. If we want, we can even put it a little bit further. So right here, for example. Or right there, or whenever we want to put it. So we can even put it in the water. It's gonna take us a little bit more time. We will need to crop a little piece of the lake, but we can even put it in the water if we wanted to do so. So as you can see, it's pretty simple, and this would be our final result. Once again, it's not perfect, but it's pretty normal that it's not perfect. We have invested, we only have invested a few minutes to create this picture. But once again, the result is not that bad. So we created something that is pretty cool and that you guys can recreate if you want to. So I hope you guys have learned some new things and you have learned how to, modify pictures and create pictures that look pretty much like this. So as I told you, it's not that complicated. It's just using the different tools that we have learned to be able to merge two pictures together. So that's it for this class, guys, and see you all in our next class.